y'all, it's Lindsay. I thought we could talk about numbers again today since I haven't talked about that in about 12 minutes. If you are new here, welcome. I am Lindsay. I like to do what I eat in a day videos. I share recipes and food prep videos sometimes. Rarely I will put out a grocery haul. And I also like to sit down and just sort of talk about my health and wellness experience as a person rather than an expert. I'm not even an expert on myself, so be blessed by that. Take everything I say as my own personal experience and never a recommendation on what you ought to do. But that's the type of stuff that I put out here on my channel. If you are interested in any of those things, please poke around my channel and consider subscribing. I would love to have you here. And to my returning viewers, I have a bit of an update with my Fora-6 blood monitor. When I shake that thing, it sounds like a baby rattle. About 2 weeks ago, I uploaded a video where I mentioned this little blood monitor. It is a multi-monitor. I don't know if that's the right term, if that's the exact term they use, but this little device will give you readings for your ketones, blood glucose, uric acid, and cholesterol. There are 4 different types of strips that this monitor will read, which is really cool and really handy. So I have actually been using this for a while now, and I have been keeping track of my numbers, and I've noticed a couple things that sort of have been enlightening, all because I have been using this monitor. Whoop, I almost dropped it. I had left my book over on my side table where my reading chair is. So I have mentioned this book quite a few times. It is Drop Acid, and it is by Dr. Perlmutter. It's been very interesting. I am still working my way through this book, not because it's a difficult read, but because I have 3 children that I homeschool and a household to run here. So it is a lot slower going for me than it might be for you. And yeah, so I've been working my way through that. I also mentioned in my video that I had posted, I was watching the Keto Naturopath, his videos regarding uric acid, and that it was very compelling to me that I needed to work on keeping my uric acid within an appropriate range of 2.0 to 4.0 as a female, an adult female. So I've been sort of monitoring my uric acid with the Fora-6 Connect, and it has been giving me some information that is useful. Going back for a second, I'll be sure to link that uric acid video where I mentioned Dr. Perlmutter's book and getting the Fora-6 Connect monitor. I'll be sure to link that in my description box below. But in that video, I kind of explained what my objective was. I want to monitor my uric acid, and that is what I have done. I have been doing 1 uric acid test strip about every 5 days. I thought I was going to do it once a week, every Monday morning, or like one specific time every single week. But I found that I wanted to know a little bit more frequently, so I've been testing about every 5 days. Now, I have a small sample of data at this point in time regarding the uric acid, but it has been interesting to me. When I first started testing using the Fora-6, I got a number that terrified me. And that really, really set me on the path of wanting to figure this out. Since I have tested each time, I've started to take notes on what happened the day before. Now, when I do test my uric acid, testing first thing in the morning, I will go through, I will wash my hands, and then I will lay out my test strips. Every morning I lay out my ketone and my glucose strip, but on the days when I test out my uric acid as well, if I can pull it out of the little pouch, I pull one of these out as well. I've mentioned before, the little fiddly foil packets are not my friend. I think they're great for maintaining the sterility of this individual strip, but they are fiddly for my hands. So I'll lay out one of each of these strips, and then I lance, my finger, and I do them in order of length of time it takes for the test to complete. So the blood glucose test takes 5 seconds to give you a reading. The ketones take 10 seconds to give you a reading, and the uric acid takes 15 seconds. So I go in order of least amount of time to greatest amount of time. That way my blood does not coagulate quickly. Because I'm starting with blood glucose first, I do like to wipe that first little drop of blood away and get the next drop. For the past several months, I have been keeping a spreadsheet of my ketone numbers, my blood glucose numbers, the day of that month's cycle for myself, the time that I took my numbers. And then also I've been adding in a couple of extra notes, like, did I go to bed early? Did I go to bed late? Did I have snacks earlier in the day? Did I have a pre-bedtime snack? Did I have a fatty coffee right before bed? Did I have broken sleep? Did I wake up before my alarm? Did I don't know, just like a whole plethora of things that seem to me like they might impact my numbers. So I like to just kind of keep that information so I can at least attempt to find some sort of pattern. And I've been doing the same thing with my uric acid testing. Now it's a little trickier to find a pattern with the uric acid strips because I'm not testing every single day the same way I am with my ketones and my blood glucose. But having those little notes has been useful. And an additional note that I have been sort of loosely keeping track of is whether or not I have nuts, or specifically pecans, because those are definitely my favorite of all of the nut varieties. Or if I've had a lot of snacky meals for that day, or if I had like a legitimate sit down and you know, you have your beef and you have like a small bit of little veggies for interest and you know, that kind of thing. I've been trying to keep loose track of that. And something I noticed for myself specifically is when I would have pecans the day before I tested my uric acid, my number would be through the roof. It would be above 6.0. And what really solidified this detail for me was that I tested my uric acid yesterday, and the previous time I had tested, it was at 4.0. And I thought, yes, I'm right on the edge of that typical acceptable range for an adult female of 2.0 to 4.0. So I was like, yes, I'm right there. I'm right there. Well, 5 days later, here I am, and I tested at a 6.2. Now, what changed was that several days prior to me getting the 4.0 as my result, I didn't have any pecans. I didn't have any pepperoni. I didn't have a snackier kind of food day. Even if I eat that snacky plate all in one setting and it's contained within, you know, a 20-minute period of time, and then I wait a while, you know, 4 hours or more until the next time I have food, I still would make note of those days when I had the snacky foods. Times when I would test my uric acid after having had a snacky plate the day before or even 2 days before, I would see an increase in my readings. Now, while correlation does not necessarily indicate causation, I am noticing a typical pattern or trend that I'm going to keep an eye on. I love pecans, pepper jack cheese, and pepperoni together. However, I'm noticing that just because I love it doesn't mean it is impacting my body well, and I need to make a little bit of a modification there. I can still have those things as long as I am aware of what it is doing to my internal chemistry. And so like I had said in that video a couple weeks back, this is all for information collection at this point, and I am still in that process of finding information and trying to see if there are patterns. This pattern seems to be holding pretty steady for me. I am going to continue on with my my collection of all the data. And yeah, I just thought I would give you a little update there on the uric acid front. I have really liked using this monitor. It has simplified my process. I used to use a separate glucose and ketone monitor, and at the time I really liked that. I had never tried an all-in-one or a multi meter before, and since trying this, I am sold. I appreciate very much how compact it is and the fact that I can test multiple different markers within my body. So I do like that. Foracare did give me a discount code for their website, and it is Lindsey M10. So Lindsey M, all in capital letters, and then the number 10 for that 10% discount. You can click the link down in the description box below and use my code for a discount. I use the discount to get replacement strips, so it's a good thing, and I've really enjoyed that monitor. So there's all that. I am still collecting data, still using the 406 Connect. Oh, side note, it does have an app as well, but because I already have my own spreadsheet going with all my extra notes, I've not really dabbled in the app. So I don't have a whole heap of knowledge regarding that, experience regarding that, but I do know that the app can be very useful for some folks, so they do in fact have an app. That's all I have for you today. I appreciate you being here, and I hope to see you in my next video.